There's gonna be a weapons tier list for update 4.5. And also I'll duel as a weapon showcase of every single weapon and how they scale their damages and stuff, all their moves and stuff, you know, just to have a comprehensive list of like every weapon, or not weapon, like sword in the game, I guess. Update 4.5 changed swords dramatically. A bunch of swords are just so much weaker than they used to be, or a bunch of swords are much stronger. I think this is honestly worse for the game. They should have streamlined how the damages are and increased the damage on medium swinging swords. And also, short range swords should have a lot more damage, because they're doing as much as like long range medium or fast swinging swords, and even if they're fast swinging as a short sword, they should still do more damage because the disadvantage of not having range is so high. Like, there's no reason to ever use some of these weapons, or any of the short weapons. If you're just gonna, you could just use anything that's medium and it does the same damage, or just use a slower weapon. I don't know, the meta is like really weird with these weapons right now. Of course things could happen, things could change, but for right now, as the beginning of the update, couple days in, this is kind of how I feel about the swords themselves. So for weapon 1 is Karapachi. Now in the previous update, this probably would have been like, it would have been like D or C or something, but because of the buffs, it's like around B. You can convince me to put it in A, but like for right now I'm gonna put it in B. The big factor is the fact that it's a big sword, so it does a ton of damage. It scales so well in comparison to like the medium swords and like the short range swords. It's like really good. The main thing about it is it has 2 moves, one being the first move being like Karapachi Slam. I forget what it's called exactly. So what it does is guard break your opponent and do a lot of damage. So it's not the best for extensions because it sends them flying, so the chance of you getting an extension if you don't have Rokushiki is low. But if you have Rokushiki, you can do it off of a block break. It's quite fast, so you should be able to catch your opponent with it, and then you can get an extension. Karabachi's second move, Frenzy, is not that good. The thing about it is that I'm pretty sure you can't get punished for it. Even if you could get punished for it for doing it up close, you still can just put yourself in Link's way away from you and the opponent, so you shouldn't get punished for it. There's another weapon on this list that gets punished for using a similar move, but its damages are pretty decent. You should see how many hits and like the damage it does on the screen. It does a good amount, but like it's not amazing. Like, the moves could be better. There's a couple better slow swinging swords than this guy, but it's still a good weapon. It's still really good in comparison to what it was like last update. Does significantly more than every other weapon, and its moves aren't the worst. They're just not amazing or anything. The Karabachi Smash, again, being the best move that it has. Moving on to Golden Pole. So the way this worked last update is that it really wasn't used for its damage per se, and I mean a lot of these medium swinging swords are going to be like similar to this one, where you're not going to use them for their damage, you're going to use them for their skills, or just extended ones, and use a black leg build with them, and this is one of the premier black leg like combo things. I'm pretty sure the problem is that it got pseudo nerfed because of the airtime update, so you can't do stuff like it's one of its moves being a sweep, so it can guard break, but you can't like really like phase it. When you do it in midair, you're just gonna instantly drop to the floor, and you can't hit your opponent with it and try to like catch them off guard with a guard break if they try to block in the air. So like it's kind of bad, but like the thrust kind of acts the same way as it did before, so you can still kind of try to extend off of it if you have Rokushiki, but there's no afro dashing anymore, so like a lot of this like usability of this thing like just got nerfed. Like it isn't terrible, you can still make it work, but like in comparison to last update, it was a lot stronger because it didn't care about the damage, because no one ever used this thing for the damage. They cared for the stuns and being able to extend your M1s with it, and not because you can do stuff with it, but like it's a lot harder and like stricter on what you can and can't do. So it's still like a decent weapon, but like I don't see, unless we figure out like some way to make this thing like work, or like they reduce back airtime later. I don't know. This thing is okay, but like not amazing or anything. Moving on to Gravity Cane. It doesn't seem like it like got hit that hard from the update. All that happened was that its M1s got nerfed, and its skills still do a decent amount of damage in comparison to most weapons in the game. So I mean, it's still pretty decent. It does similar things as it did last update. You can put it in between here, I guess, but like it's okay. It's not like too amazing. It's just fine. It didn't get hit that hard. I mean, it still got hit hard because of the lack of ones, and you can't really use this in a black leg build. I mean, could try, but like again, you could just use other ones. But it's okay. It's not terrible. It's whatever, honestly. I'd probably put it here somewhere. It's a fine weapon. Moving on to Trident. Trident's okay. It's still good, I think. Would I put it in A? I don't know. Would I say it's even better than Karapachi? It is probably better than Karapachi. Karapachi's still good, but like Trident, the main thing is just like Magu users using it to like slam down, and even after the Magu nerfs, they're still really good. So like in that specific situation, it's good. If you're gonna use it in like a general build, it's not the best. You have to make sure you know a combo with this thing, like Magu or something, to get the best mileage out of it. It's still a good weapon. It's just the problem is, again, the M1's got nerfed to hell, and there's just like better options to use than this thing. It's still a pretty decent sword. I could bump this to A, but for right now I'll put it in high B. It's a really good weapon, but just the nerfs hit it off real hard. Moving on to Bisento. Some might disagree, but I think Karapachi's slightly better. Again, these two are slow swinging swords, so they have around the same range. Honestly, I think Karapachi's was like before the set that I think it was like bad. Honestly, not that terrible, but like it was bad. Well, the reason I'd say that is because of heavy sweep, it being a terrible move. If you land it, you get punished for it. So if your opponent is using Bisento and they land the move, you can instantly M1 before they get to touch you. It's really dumb. If you ever get hit by that move, you should not get extended off of it. If you ever see anyone that happen to anybody, just call them bad, or I was gonna say, or just tell them, hey, you can just like M1 after they do that move and then still get a full combo for free. So that move is horrendous, gutter trash. You can't use it. It basically has a single move. That's a little slash move. Admittedly, it's a pretty good move. And it does a ton of damage, like a ridiculous amount of damage. Its skills insane. There's like over 100 if you have a decent amount of sword. It's a really good move. That's why I don't want to, like, last update I would have said it was like here. But like because of that buff, it's like really nice. But I'd still to say you could use and get more mileage out of you can get more mileage out of Karapachi's two moves over something like this. At the end, it's still really good. I just don't think it's better than something like this, than something like Karapachi and its moves, because although it has a really good guard break, it's not like insane. And this has like a heavy slam that doesn't have such a long charge that this thing does, and it's like nearly instant. It's really good. So in comparison to these two, I would say that this is better. Again, you can disagree and you can say this is better. I mean, they're just around the same level. I don't really see a reason to like be like, oh, whatever, this is so significantly better. It's around the same range. And if you haven't really used a Karapachi, go use one. It's quite fun. I'm moving on to Crab Cutlass. Ugh, this thing got gutted. Now I say that, but it's still 18. Now you might disagree, be like, oh, it has like terrible M1 scaling. It does. It has horrendous M1 scaling, but who cares? It has an instant guard break that like gets you into combos, and I'm not 100% sure you can extend into it. I'm gonna go test that out. But under the assumption that it doesn't matter, because again, it has an instant guard break you can get combos off of. It's not instant. They increased the startup on it, but it's still amazing. You can just again combo extend with it, or not. You can still combo start with it. With like any fruit in the game basically that you want to like have a combo with. But the main thing about it is that you're not using it for its M1 damage, using it with a black leg. So it's still amazing for that, because you could just use something like black leg again. You just start with this, do this, and you know, start a combo with it. It's still broken. It's still really good. It's just you're never gonna use it as a sword by itself. You're gonna combo it with like black leg. Again, really good. Don't sleep on it. Like it's got gutted M1. If you're gonna do a sword main build, it's terrible. But like again, it's still really good. Unlike as a black leg build, and it's overall a good sword. So yeah, it's still amazing. Moving on to Hook. I think that all short range like weapons are just like really bad overall, because like you're there for some reason you can fall if the opponent's just standing still and you aren't moving forward, like walking forward while doing down ones. You can just like walk, like just randomly get like hit out of them before they even finish like up tilting you. It's really bad. I would recommend like never like using short weapons, especially since their damage does the exact same as a medium as a fast swinging weapon. So like it's really dumb what they did. I really wish they do more damage, or like as much as like a a heavy sword, or like, I don't know, something like in between these two. But like, it's just, its scaling is like weirdly bad. I don't think it's that good. I'd rather use these two over this thing. It has like a grab move and a poison move. The grab move is good and it does a lot of damage, but like, it's not amazing. Again, I can get more mileage out of these because its M1 damage is like so low. It's, again, like around these weapons, kind of. There's like really no reason to use this. You can't really get much off of it. You're better off just like using any of these weapons, like at all. Like I don't know. I just don't think it's that good. I'm gonna put it in D. Again, you could say it's C. It doesn't really matter, honestly. It's just a mediocre weapon. I've never been fond of these kinds of weapons. They're just mediocre and kind of mid. Like, I don't know. It's an okay weapon. Again, does a lot of damage, but like its M1 skill is so poorly, so there's not really a real reason to use it, especially as you're going to be in a disadvantage. If you really want to use some short range, just use Blackleg. Like, just for real, just use Blackleg. There's like no reason to use this thing. But yeah, now katanas, I'm only listing this thing just for the sake of it. This is the highest damaging katana. The Rose and Crimson katanas are the two highest. It's funny. It's still probably worse than like everything here. At least this thing has a skill. It has a single skill, but it has a skill. I mean, I guess poison if you want to say, but the poison's mid. It's like, I'm pretty sure its damage is better than better than these weapons, but like, again, it has no moves. It's bad. Like, honestly, I'd still say it's better than this, but it's still mediocre. Like, I would never use one. Obviously, I don't think anyone like even thinks they're good. So I don't know. You want to use one of these? Oh yeah, and you can still make it work, but it's whatever. For some reason you want to use a skillless weapon, like literally just skillless. Go ahead. I don't know. Just be my guess. I don't know. I just put it on the list as I have it. But yeah, it's like obviously bad. And this is the reason I wanted to make this tier list, because this is the kingpin of the update. I don't know what they were thinking when they were balancing the weapon damage, but this weapon is broken. Like, this weapon it literally is like, oh, crap color is broken? Nah, this is broken. This is the best weapon in the game. Easy. I could put this like above, like S+. Like, this thing is miles at least above everything below it currently on the list. This thing is so broken, dude. Like, literally the update before 4.0 literally was like right here. It was like on the cusp of being S. Like, these two swap places. After this like kind of buff, a pseudo buff, whatever you want to call it, it's broken, bro. Like, it's just so good. The scaling is so nice. The skills are really good. Yeah, heavy slash is really amazing. Guard breaks, if you work with Shiki, you can extend off of it. You can just it does a ton of damage. The second move is really good. You can't get punished for it, unlike Bisento's move. You can extend off of it after you're done with it. It's like really good, high damaging. This weapon is just amazing. Guard breaks, extenders, well, barely extenders, but like if you catch someone off with the second one, it's like really good. It's just amazing, bro. I don't like. There's no real reason to use it. Any other weapon. Like, this thing is good. It's even good in PvE for damn sakes, because you can just do Eternal Flow and get an entire combo off of it. And if you're doing it against bosses and stuff, you can just Eternal Flow and trap them, and then your friend Eternal Flows, and then your other friend Eternal Flows, and then your other friend Eternal Flows, and then you can get your Eternal Flow. You can just infinite the boss. It's really nice. It's a really good weapon. I don't see what else. I mean, like, I don't see what argument someone could say to make that would say anything else is better, but like, it's still really good. Like, I don't know, it's kind of broke, honestly. Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, best weapon in the game, honestly, right now. Things could change again, but again, I think this is the best weapon in the game. I think most people agree that's the best weapon in the game. It's just so broken. Bells, I think bells are worse than the normal katana, because what it's giving you in comparison to what you're losing is horrendous. You're losing you gain a move when this thing doesn't have a move, but you lose range and you lose damage. Like, this thing is terrible. The fact that you have range and all you get back for that range is like healing, it's terrible. It's horrendous. You don't get anything for this. The heal is not going to be good enough for you to be like, oh, time to have absolutely no range with M1s, because even if you you're using Blackleg or something, just use this. Any weapon with a range, use this. Any weapon with range, you're just better off using. You get such better, like, you get such more value off of anything else that has any amount of like range or anything. Just because a heal and like having no range and no damage is like pointless. Who cares? It's a terrible. It's like worse than a normal katana. This is what I'm saying. It's worse than a normal katana because this at least gets range. You can get an M1 and then instantly go into a blacklight combo. Like you're fine. Like it's just really bad. I don't understand, bro. Like this thing is horrendous. This is like the worst like weapon in the game by far. I don't know. It's just bad. The worst sword, period. Like I don't know. I don't know what argument you could tell me to make this thing like anything below anything else, like above anything else. It's just really bad. Moving on to CC. I think this is weird. Again, they removed Afro dashing like completely this update, I'm pretty sure, unless someone finds something out. And again, because of that, you can't really do much of anything with this thing. It's still really good. I think it's worse than, yeah, it's worse than everything else here. Maybe it's here. You could say it's here, but I'm gonna say it's at the top of this. It's still good because again, if you hit the if you can hit its R move or its the E move, whatever, the one that brings out the ice, it's still really good. You get a cool combo off of it. It's really nice. And then it has a heal, which is like good. It's not insane, but it's good. They kind of buffed it this update too, because now it scales with your health, so it's like it does a lot more health. But overall, it's like whatever. Again, the one move, it's really good, but it's M1 damage got nerfed. You can't really Afro dash into it. It's just whatever. It's like a fine weapon. I think it's better than, is it better than this? That's my thing. Is it better than this? Yeah, I would say, because you get a guaranteed combo once you hit that one move. You can't guarantee anything. It's just lucky that its skills do a decent amount of damage if you have a loaded sword. It's again, it's a good weapon. I think anything in C and above is a good weapon. But yeah, I don't know. It's nothing amazing. It's just really good. Now moving on to flowers. So it does the average amount like any other sword. It does around the average amount of any other sword. That's medium and fast swing. I think honestly, I don't know. It's like kind of mediocre in its swing speed. Like I don't know why it doesn't do more damage than these. Like it's a good weapon. I just don't like. It's not like okay. The thing about this weapon, it has like extremely high potential. Its M1s aren't like. It's just weird now because its M1s are gonna do the most amount of damage. So you're gonna probably use blackleg, but I don't say I don't think anyone that didn't use blackleg already. So like I mean, it's still good. It has like 2 moves. One of them being like sweet scent or whatever it's called. That move is terrible. Who cares? The move that actually matters is the love scent move, the one that pulls stuns the opponent and then pulls them in. This thing is like, if you hit this is a guaranteed extender. It's so broken, and they pull to you like you just they're in front of you. You can do whatever you want. That move is broke. If that was on any other sword, people would complain about it, but because it's on this thing, it's like whatever. Like it's fine. It's still amazing, bro. Like you could convince me it's an A. Like I'll probably move a couple things up, but like you can convince me this is an A. This thing is so good. If this was last update, this was better last update because its M1 damage could scale better to everything else in the game. It was really good. But because it got kind of pseudo nerfed, it's fine. Like it's still really good. But it's not nearly as broken as it probably was last update. It's just really good. That move has so much potential. It's like really good. I think it's better than CC. CC has more range, but this is like a guaranteed move. If you don't hit that ice move ever, which is like super easy to dodge, it's like over for you. Like you just have a really small, you just have a small damage weapon. Like in comparison to this, that guarantees you a combo extender. Like this is really good. It's fine though. I don't know. It's okay. Like it's a really good weapon. But it got nerfed because of the scaling of everything else. It's a good weapon though. It's probably not better than these 3, I would say. Moving on to Hammer. Yes sir. Yes sir. The update has paid tribute to my man the Hammer. Again, I'll probably move a couple of these things up afterwards, but I definitely think this thing is A tier. Is it better than Cutlass? Probably. I would say probably. It has 2 guard breaks. It has the first move being, I think, Hammer Frenzy. Is a guard break instantly. Does like, I think like 8 hits, 5 hits, I forget. Smashes your opponent down. It does a ton of damage. It's like over like 100 something. It's like really good. It does a ton of damage. A guard break. You can just catch your opponent with it as an ender. It's kind of like the Gura grab, but like on a hammer. It's like really nice. And second move is Elo Smash, I think is what it's called, or Hammer Smash. Again, really good. It's like an instant guard break. If you have Sorrow, I think you can probably extend off of it. I don't know, but it's still, again, even then if you couldn't, it's still like a guard break you just get instantly. You just knock your opponent off. Again, it's a slow hitting weapon, so it does a ton of damage like the rest of them. So it's still really good. But yeah, it's like super nice. It's probably the second best weapon. Yeah, it says probably, which is weird to say. You can convince me that Cutlass is better than it, but like anything else, probably not. It's probably like the second best heavy swinging weapon because the other 2 are fine, but they're not amazing. In comparison to like the two in the one in A tier and the one in S tier. Like it's just it's good. It's really good. It's broken. I don't want to say it's broken. I think anything that's here and below is like between these areas are balanced. I don't think this is balanced, but yeah, these are good. It's a really good. I would say it's the second best weapon in the game. Again, you could say cutlass. This is like top 3 again, because again the like again slow moving M1s, but the damage is so good. The moves are really good. Like literally in 4.0, it was like here-ish, like probably here, because the M1s were skilled like trash for like no reason. They were like so low damage for like 0 reason. No one, like, maybe it was like a bug, maybe they oversighted it, maybe they didn't like think about it. But yeah, because of the buffs, it's so good. It's so good. This is what it needed, man. Now it's like an actual really good weapon. If you don't have an Elo hammer, go get one. Like it's nice, it's fun, it's good. So yeah, shout out to Elo hammer. After being in the shadows for so long, finally got the shine. Let's hope it doesn't happen again, where it just gets nerfed for like no reason. But yeah. Amazing weapon. Dagger. This thing is trash. I don't want to say it's trash. Like it's like the same thing. Like here, like these two. The thing is that these two do the exact same thing. This is just an ender, and I think you can extend with this. Like its first move. Its second move is so hard to use, and even if it was good, like it wasn't like easier to. It's just not that good, bro. Like if you could try to make this thing work and get a combo with it, there's like nothing that a Soru wouldn't do that this thing could. It's just mediocre, man. Like it's just so mid. Like its damage is like the same as a medium swinging sword. So again, they need to buff it. Even then, it's still like it's just bad. Like I don't see how it's good. I'm gonna say it's better than this, because again, these two have like one move, which is like dumb, basically. But like they're like fine. Like I don't know. Like they're around that. You can tell me whichever is better. Honestly, I would say that hook is better, just because poison is more applicable. Because poison is applicable to permanent uses and does take over time, instead of a move that you're never gonna hit or use properly, being the shadow. So I don't know. And also this thing is like hook grab move is like a really good ender, does a lot of damage if you have a lot of the sword. But yeah, it's just bad, man. Like there's no reason to use it. I think short swords are just like horrible, like especially now. It's just whatever. I don't think it's that good. It's just bad. Like I don't know. But yeah, this is like basically the D tier. I don't know, it's just bad. If someone figures out a way to experiment with this thing and make it good, good luck, man. Shout out to you. I don't know how you're gonna make this thing work. You have to like play like 700, like a gazillion IQ goddamn plays. It's just whatever. But yeah, it's a bad. Honestly, I think it's a bad. Again, anything that's in here is a bad weapon in my opinion. Honestly, you can bump this up to here, but whatever. Bad weapon, whatever. Yeah, moving on. This is the best weapon out of the two. What's it called? Scythe. Scythe being a really good weapon. It's not amazing, actually. Scythe is a mediocre weapon. It has the same damage scaling as like a regular M1 sword, like these. But I think the main issue is that, okay, before it got nerfed, it was insane. It got like nerfed like almost instantly. It was amazing. You could do this little cross sweep move that sweeps you into it, and then you can instantly like do, if you had Magu, you can instantly Magu stomp and get a combo off of it. It was so broken, dude. You could do so much out of this because it flung you so little. It was doing so much. You could do so much with it. It was really good. It probably was like here-ish, if it was if the sweep didn't if the move didn't get nerfed. But because the move got nerfed, it's like whatever, man. It's not that good. It's fine. Like it's just, there's like no reason to not use like anything here, like right. Like it's just fine. Like this would have been like Magu's best friend, but like this is still Magu's best friend. I think the only reason this is even up here is because again Magu is just so good. But and it didn't get touched. I mean it did, but like it was such a minuscule touch. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this thing is like fine. I don't know. Maybe there's like something you could do at the end of it that I'm not thinking of. But the chances of you being able to like get an M1 after it is like really low, especially if you know Roku. It's fine. It's whatever. It's a mediocre move. It's like fine. Again, it's probably worse than this. Is it worse than Candy Cane? I think it's better than these. I'll probably say it's worse than Candy Cane. It's still good, but if you do the move, it's an instant guard break. You can do the move. It's fine. you don't get much advantage after it. If there's something that I'm missing or it gets buffed soon to revert its knockback, so it's actually like broken and like is like here, that happens. But like again, if they decrease that knockback to what it was before, something like here-ish, it's better than this at least. Again, it scales M1 scales like around these kind of weapons, but yeah, it's whatever. It's not that good. If it was a slower moving weapon, would it be better than Karapachi? It would probably be like here-ish, maybe here-ish. I don't know, maybe worse than these two. I don't know. But yeah, the move became kind of useless. Also, I forgot to mention the slash move. It's like a decent ender. You can also catch someone off guard using it. It's really fast. It's really nice. Does a decent amount of damage. It's not insane or anything. It's just good. It's a good move. But yeah, it's whatever. So yeah, this is how I'm gonna I think I'm gonna do the list. I think these are just the meta weapons. These are weapons you could probably use and get away with using, and they have a couple of these have like unique aspects to them that could make them work. These are just like whatever. Honestly, Pole's probably better, but you can make the argument. It doesn't really matter. But you can use this as like a black leg build. Like this thing by itself is like bad. Just because again the stuns with Mink is the main reason that I would say this is any good. But yeah, it's like fine. You can do stuff with it. And then this is like don't use any of these things. These are trash. I think these are trash. Again, you could probably put a hook up here, but I'm gonna put it down here just to like, yeah, short range weapons are trash. This weapon is like bad. Like I know the move guard breaks. It's just bad. I don't really see what you could do with it. Like I'd rather use pole than it, like in every way. I don't know. Again, and then there's bells. I don't know how you do this. Yeah, this is how I would say the tier list would go. You can move things like Karapachi and Bisento up and down from like A to B. You cannot put these in C though because of the damage buff. They're really good now. I'm gonna put it like this. You can put like anything in here can move in front of itself. Again, you can put this in here. I think these are definitely like the top 3 weapons though. You can move these in between each other. You can move these in between each other, and then like these. I guess you can like argue these two, but I'd still say like fire is probably better. And then this thing is, I would say, definitively worse than these two. Again, if they buff, then if they reduce the knockback on this thing again, here. But again, for right now, it's our here and stuff. But yeah, this is kind of what I would say the tier list looks like. Again, these two you can swap. It's whatever. It actually does not matter. This thing does a lot of damage on this like move, but the heavy sweep's such a bad move. And frenzy for this thing is like not like good, but it's not like terrible. You can, if you get perfect block or you get a guard break, you can just do something out of it. So yeah, this is the tier list. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Any video suggestions, put them in the comments below. This is kind of what I say. If you have any arguments for like things being better than the other thing, if there's something I don't know of, leave it in the comments. Again, this is just kind of what I would list it as. But yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah.